Welcome back to the Multiverses Yay or Nay series, and we got a new character to go over in today's video, as well as at the end of the episode we got the updated Yay or Nay stats, and one of the new characters might kind of surprise you a little bit, but stick around till then. But either way, today's character is none other than Johnny Bravo, baby. Let's see if people are fed up with Cartoon Network representation, or if there's at least room for one more hunk on the roster. So as always, we'll start off with the moveset portion, or a few move ideas for Johnny Bravo. And up first, this is classic, this is patented Johnny Bravo. You know when he's always striking those random poses, you know, he does like 3 or 4 of them like in a row and he just like snaps to it. I get that could be a taunt, but I tried to turn that into like an attack. And the idea I came up with was, how do you turn this into an attack? Well, maybe you make this like his jab combo, and every jab attack is him snapping into another pose that he's doing. So, you know, the first one's like I don't know, he's flexing his biceps, and then the next one he's kind of like doing another muscular pose, whatever it is. But, you know, he snaps into a different pose every single time you do a new jab combo or a side grounded attack. This would be perfect for Johnny. It keeps to the character very well. It still feels very much like him because, well, that's what he does like all the time. So I thought this would be kind of a fun idea. Again, you could make this a taunt, but, you know, I tried to turn it into an attack and it would look kind of funny. I guess people will complain about the hitboxes and hurt boxes and all that sort of stuff, so kind of fits in with the game, right? Move idea number 2, and this one's just going to be a whole assortment of ideas for attacks, and they're all very simple, so you could just watch the clip that plays in the background, but it's from the episode where he's doing his karate, or he ends up calling it chipmunk style karate. So for the attack itself, or any of these attacks, you imagine if Johnny Bravo had this from the show, but the chipmunk is like crawling around him in his karate robe. And, well, if you've seen the episode, the chipmunk is driving him crazy and he's trying to get at it and stop it, but that's what's making him deliver all these punches and kicks and uppercuts and all that sort of stuff. So you imagine that type of animation for one of the attacks. Johnny would just be so random. The hurt boxes, the hit boxes would just look so funny. And I guess this would be a character that could give maybe quite a big headache for the game, for the developers, for players, but I don't know. Johnny just kind of feels like he's like a simple bruiser, but you can make him so much kind of like a very strange type of bruiser where the attack animations are just quick and weird, but, you know, it's still Bravo. I don't know. It's a little weird to explain, but anyway, you seen the little clip that played. Ton of ideas for, you know, an assortment of very basic, simple attacks. Move idea number 3. I'm taking this one from Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion. Well, because Johnny has hair, he likes styling it, so he's got his comb, he's got hairspray, so, you know, let's get that aspect involved in his moveset somehow. So the attack that I'm taking, as you can see, was his comb toss. If you know me and you've seen these episodes, I always try to like to include at least one projectile type of an attack. I know Multiversus most likely would not just copy paste this from Cartoon Network, or a Punch Time Explosion game, but just as a projectile would be pretty funny. You could even make it, you know, change it up slightly. Make it a boomerang-like attack. So if anybody's played King K. Rool in Smash Ultimate, where he does his crown toss, but the crown ends up coming back to him. Imagine it's Johnny Bravo, but he throws out a comb, and the comb does like this boomerang effect where it comes back to him. But if the comb reaches him, it just, you know, sticks into his hair and then kind of disappears into his hair. Something like that, you know, kind of Johnny Bravo-ish effect added onto the attack would be so funny. But again, simple projectile, throws out a comb, acts like a boomerang, comes right back to him. So got 2 chances to hit the opponent, so I had to include this one. Plus, I like the attack, so there you go. Now let's move on to some alternate costume ideas, followed by taunts, and then a couple player profile icons. So up first, alternate costume number 1, and there were so many to choose from, so there's a lot. Johnny Bravo has a ton of ideas, so very quickly, Army getup, you could go with this one. Again, kind of a simple one, you know, Army Soldier Bravo reporting for duty. Why not? Throw that in there, sure, it works. You also got, I mentioned the karate episode, so you could give him his karate robe as one. Another simplistic idea, but how about this one? This one might be the favorite out of the three that I bring up, and it's from the episode Blunder God. So you see the getup that he's wearing, and it's meant to represent Thor, because he ends up pulling the hammer out of the stone or whatever that was, and he ends up getting the powers of Thor, and then he kind of uses them. So I'm not saying he uses the powers of Thor and the hammer and everything, but just the getup itself would be a pretty funny one. I think they call it Blunder God. Did I already mention that? I don't remember, but this would be a really funny one. So this one I personally would buy. I think this one would look absolutely hilarious, so I had to include it for his concept. Now for a couple taunt ideas, we got 3 different ones. How about taunt number 1? This might be a losing animation. This might fit better there, but what if he goes to strike a pose and then his big old gut hangs out? You know, he's like, yeah, just did good. Oh wait, no I didn't. I don't know. This one, I got a chuckle out of this, so I wanted to include this one. Be pretty funny in my opinion, so included that one. Mentioned earlier about his comb, so why don't we get that as maybe a taunt? Johnny Bravo combing his hair. Sure. It's another one that works. I know Joker has one where he combs his hair, but you know, maybe does it work better for Johnny than it does Joker? I don't know. That's up for debate, but again, it's classic Johnny, so it makes sense to include. But then, of course, the third idea for a taunt or a winning animation is him doing, I don't even know what it's called, but he just sticks his arms out and they kind of like move up and down. The Johnny dance, I don't know what to call it, but this one is classic, so you have to include this. I imagine this should be a taunt, although, again, it could work as a winning animation. And then just 2 ideas for player profile icons. What about Wimpy Johnny? And get a good laugh out of that one. Wimpy Johnny, right before he decides to bulk up because he wants to get the girls, so, you know, a before and after type of thing, but, you know, there's an idea. Or you could always include a player profile icon for Mama. You got to love Mama, right? Got to show her some love, so give her at least a profile icon. I think that would be a great way to respect her. Sure, why not? There's that. And for me, I'm going to give Johnny Bravo an easy yay. Absolutely would love to see him on the roster. That's enough of that, so let's get to the updated yay or nay stats. So as you can see, we got 6 characters. Well, we got 13 total to go over, but here are the first 6 in order of percentage points. And one of the 2 new characters this week you can see in 4th place. This one might surprise people, but Space Ghost, percentage-wise, yes to no ratio, Space Ghost had 93 total votes, 82 yeses, only 11 nays. I expected a lot more. I was expecting a lot of people to say they didn't know who it was and they were going to pass on him, but a lot of Space Ghost fans out there, so that's kind of cool. But overall, 88.17% yes to no ratio, which is pretty cool. But then the rest of them, everybody went up very slightly in percentage points. Grim, Mordecai, Rigby, still the top 3, and then Scorpion and Freddy Krueger did get pushed down a little bit because, well, Space Ghost has entered the fray. Now for the next slide of 6 characters, we got Foghorn Leghorn, Invincible, Pennywise, the second of 2 characters who debuts. 9th place out of 13 characters so far, so I don't know if that's good or not, but 96 total votes for Pennywise so far, 68 yeses, 28 nays, and a 70.83% yes to no ratio. And then, well, comparing to Freddy Krueger from the last slide, Freddy had 86.4%, so there's a 16% difference, roughly, between Freddy and Pennywise, so kind of a really big gap between the two, kind of interesting enough. But then, of course, you got Osmosis Jones, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and then Peridot. So the last 2, that actually everybody except Osmosis Jones fell percentage points this week, from this slide at least. And then the last character in last place is Barbie, although the last couple times we've seen her stats, she's been going up in percentage points, so she might be able to pass Peridot soon enough. But Barbie, 116 total votes, 64 yeses, 52 no's, and a 55.17% yes to no ratio, and she did rise another 1.19%, so Barbie, she's on the rise. It's so